Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Boba7772, and today I'm doing my review of Star Wars Kanan, The Last Padawan, Issue 1 by Marvel Comics. So without further ado, let's get started. So this comic pretty much takes place, this issue particularly, the day before Order 66 starts. Like, I would say the hours leading up to it, with, spoiler alert, the very last panel, starting Order 66, at least for Kanan and Dippa. Well, for the most part, that is where this comic takes place. The very first few pages kind of has a ghost crew with Kanan and Hera and Ezra and Sabine and just everyone chilling out in the ghost, talking to what's her face, Fulcrum. And then they are also just, you know, saying, oh yeah, we have this new mission that we have to go to on a planet, and that planet's name, I forgot what it was, but it triggers this memory in Kanan, and it was revealed to be the planet that him and Dippa were on the days, you know, before Order 66. Now, this comic is interesting for a few reasons. I'm not going to give a run-through of it like I had been doing with my other comic reviews, but this issue was very interesting. First of all, we get to see the perspective of these characters, you know, before Order 66, and we're going to see what happens to them. Second of all, Dippa Billaba was in this coma, in the old Legends universe, and now they say that she just, in this comic, they say that she was in and just got out of recently. They don't exactly state 100% what it was, but it is very much hinted at that the events, most if not all of the events of the Dippa Billaba book, I completely forgot what it's called now, but is actually canon. It's well, I can't even remember the name, but it's like I think that it's one of the Shatterpoint, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, before I get too off track, it looks like the events of that are canon, which is very nice. Aside from that, we get to see the perspective of 2 Jedi, 2 clone troopers, and I say perspective, they're like the main characters, 2 clone troopers, and I guess a separatist guy, and then a guy who is not happy with the war, doesn't really want either side controlling anything, so he's really upset about this. And now the clones are going to issue Order 66, which means they're working for Palpatine. So that means, first of all, we know that the guy who doesn't want either the Republic or the Separatists there are going to be staying. The clones are going to be staying. They're going to be invading, which it doesn't look like that guy is going to like it all. Dippa is probably going to die pretty early on. If I were to guess, Kanan, you know, or Caleb Dune is going to, I guess, just be hiding out from the clones until he can get off planet or something. And yeah, they do mention Dippa Biloba's, I'm going to reference it as a coma, even though we aren't sure what it is in this new canon. I'm going with a coma, because that's what she had in the old canon. And it was it was kind of brought up twice. First of all, by Caleb, whenever I think one of the moments he was thinking about Dippa, like once she awoke from this coma, they let her pick any Padawan, and she chose me. Another thing that would make they did this retcon in the Clone Wars, right, with Evan Peel dying, and Filoni's reasoning was, oh yeah, they needed to clear up a spot on the Jedi Council for Anakin. And I was like, well, that's really strange, because he, in the Legends universe, he took Coleman Trimmers, that dude who was in Attack of the Clones, and I think he died like right before Revenge of the Sith started, according to some old Legends comics. But I think that with Dippa Billaba actually still being on the council at this point, it would make a lot more sense for Peel to have been killed off then. So just, you know, not that I still am not sure what to think about that point in the Clone Wars, because that was a retcon I really didn't like, but I think that this comic helps it make a bit more sense. So props to the writers for that, and also props for bringing back the Shatterpoint reference. I think that the book's called Shatterpoint, but with Dippa and everything. And also the Separatist commander knew about it, so obviously it was a big deal. Aside from that, we got to see 2 clones, and the clones were really cool. Let me pull up a picture of them in this. There's more than 2 clones, obviously, but there's like 2, I guess, high-ranking commander type dudes. Here they are. So that's pretty cool. Let me try to see if I can get better picture of the two. You can see there's a scar across one of their faces. Here's a decent one. It kind of looks a bit cartoonish, but you know, it doesn't really matter too much. I guess that we aren't going to see him helmeted really, but here is the one with the scar across his face. I guess he's the main one. But yeah, I'm probably rambling on too much about that stuff. This comic also shows how Caleb got his holocron that he had in Star Wars Rebels, which is really nice that they ended up showing that. That was a nice little, I guess, nod and explanation of how they did that. Now it's not as unknown, like, well, how would he have gotten a holocron being so young, blah blah blah. Well, definitely gave him a holocron in this. So that was really cool. All in all, this was a really fun issue, really colorful. I think that the shock troopers in their red and white armor really helped with that. All the characters are just so interesting in this. Deppa is really cool, Caleb is really cool, all of these clone troopers just really cool. I hope that this comic series, as well as other comic series, kind of references other EU material, and heck, maybe Shatterpoint will be considered canon again at some point. How awesome would that be? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I would go ahead and start this series. I mean, we're only on issue 1 so far. Issue 2 is going to be released soon. If I were you guys, I would go and run to grab this series. I got a couple issues of it just because I usually get 2 issues of comics. They're cheap enough to do so, and in case something happens to one. So I would highly recommend, just to kind of put it out there, that they're pretty cheap. This one in particular is $3.99. It's rated T. That's how they rate the comics, but definitely worth it. A very cool comic, and this series looks like it's going to be very interesting, especially if you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels. So thank you for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't for more comic, action figure, book, movie, video game, all that kind of stuff reviews. And until next time, Boba7772 out.